My name is Elizabeth Glidewell. I am a detective here at the Waxahachie Police Department. I will have been here at the Waxahachie Police Department for 15 years in September. For the last almost about 8 years, I've worked as a detective. Before that, I was in patrol. And so really over the last 8 years, I have specialized in crimes against children, sex crimes, online solicitation, child pornography, those kind of things. So that's been my main thing that I've been investigating and, going through all of those cases and, for the last 8 years. It's been continuously getting worse as time goes on, as technology gets better. Kids younger and younger are getting phones. I mean, my own child has a phone, and she's pretty young. So, but I think as really the pandemic started and everything became so online, streamlined online versus in person. Kids that obviously were going to school and maybe didn't have a laptop before, a laptop or a computer, now have a laptop and computer. So I think there's been a real big influx of kids on the phone, on different apps, on the computer, doing things. And sometimes, parents don't want to believe that their kid maybe knows how to get into some of these apps or chat rooms or could be doing this or that, but in reality they are. We've seen a lot of issues with the school computers that kids are getting on Zoom and doing things on Zoom or other things that really are for school purposes, and they're turning out to be online predators are on there that are trying to solicit your 7, 8, 9-year-old kids into doing some really bad things. So we just thought that it was important to meet with you guys and get out there today to parents that they should be really monitoring what their kids are doing online and on their phones. And so I've kind of brought with me today some different apps that I just kind of wanted to touch on that could be dangerous and even ones that you might think are safe. But yeah, just to kind of reiterate how sometimes the safer apps can be more dangerous because it's where those predators go to hide in sheep's clothing. So it's one thing I wanted to bring to you today. One of the ones that I really wanted to touch on is one that I think a lot of the kids are into right now. It's called Among Us. I don't know if you've heard of that. It seems pretty innocent. It's, it's a game that a lot of younger kids like to play on. They like to find the imposter, that kind of thing. But ultimately, you're on there with strangers that you don't know who they are. They could be 7 years old. They could be 15. They could be 80. You have no idea how old these people are. You can talk to other people on there. Any app that you can talk to strangers on could be bad. So even though you think that it's going to be other kids, it's not. Pedophiles and people that prey on children know that. They know that they think, oh, well, this is a whole bunch of other kids, and it can be bad. Another super popular app is TikTok. Everybody loves TikTok. It's what everybody uses to pass the time. But there's some highly inappropriate things on TikTok. There's all kinds of things that just randomly pop up. You can't control what's going to pop up on the TikTok. So just be aware that, you think, oh, well, they're just looking at animals or kids or whatever, and then pops up something super sexual and highly inappropriate. Also, if they could be posting on TikTok and a child predator could go on there and message them. All it takes is your child to give away their address thinking that they're talking to another kid their age, and then somebody has your address and has potential to come to your house, and once it's out there, it's really hard to pull back. Anything, like I said, where there is a chat function, a function where you can open up the camera, just the biggest thing that I wanted to get out there is be checking with your kids. Look at their devices. Do random checks of their devices. Whenever they're going to bed for the night on a random Tuesday, hey, leave your phone in here for tonight. See how big of an objection you get. So yeah, if you don't know the passcode to your child's phone, that's a problem. If you pay for that phone, then you should have that passcode. If that's, I get it. I guess the same concept of you want to give your kid privacy, you want to knock on the door before coming into their room. That's fine, but are you concerned that there's a child predator in their room? Probably not. You know if somebody's in your house, but you don't know if somebody's in your kid's phone. So you can give them privacy and you can let them, do their own thing, but you still have to make sure that you're protecting them. So just watch that for sure. Let me see another couple of apps. I mean, even I know that one that's pretty dangerous is Kik. And Snapchat. Those are both, peer-to-peer apps where you can just talk to random people. Again, you can share messages, you can share videos, you can share audio, back and forth. Keep that line of communication open with your kids. A lot of victims that I deal with, their parents and the kids that's the victim, that is, they might have a great relationship and the parents are thinking, oh, well, I have a great relationship with my kid. If something was going on, they would tell me. That's not always the case. You could have a great relationship with your child, but it doesn't mean that they're going to feel comfortable telling you everything. So make sure you're doing those random check-ins. Talk to them. Make sure they know, hey, if you're talking to somebody who you may think is your age, but they're not turning on their camera, they're not talking to you, then they're probably not your age. Everybody's camera works these days. There's all kinds of excuses that online predators use, and just talk to your kids about that so that they're educated too, in case they're not telling you something. So you can at least get in their head of like, hey, this doesn't make sense. There's also a lot of apps on kids' phones, or on apps on everybody's phones that are fake apps. There's a calculator app that looks like a calculator. You go in and you put in a certain number and it opens up and it keeps videos and pictures and all kinds of stuff that nobody would know is there to somebody who is not familiar with that app. So there's just a lot of tricks and trades. So just make sure that you're looking through that phone and you know what's on there. Different apps that you can download as a parent, both for Androids and for iPhones. The best way to do that is maybe do a little search. You can always get on the Googles or wherever you like to do your searches and say, parental apps, parental monitoring apps. There's a lot of them. It'll all just pop up. And today, whenever I was looking for these, just to give you guys a little bit of information, all I did was a Google search of most dangerous apps for kids or for teenagers. I mean, the information is out there. You just have to be willing to look at it, download it. There's a lot of ones where they have to ask permission before they can download a certain app. That way you can review it and know if it's something that you want your kid to download or not. There's all kinds, you have location services for your kids. Life 360 is one of them that I use on mine, where I know when she's at school, when she leaves school, I can tell how fast she's riding on her bike. I can tell if she gets in a wreck while she's driving. It sends me, or while she's in a car. It sends a notification. So with the technology out there, it helps us and it hurts us. So we have to be careful and just, not be afraid to check your kids, because, it's more important that they're safe than, you just 100% saying, oh, I respect your privacy, I'm gonna leave you alone, because that's not the right thing to do these days. Your kid's gonna get hurt that way. Sometimes I'll get a couple of these reports a week, sometimes a couple a month. Sometimes I'll be lucky and be every other month. It just kind of depends. I think it's happening a whole lot more than it's getting reported to the police department. I think, sometimes parents find it and maybe ground their kids or something like that, and think, okay, well, just don't do it again. It was a close call. As far as, talking to strangers and being in a bad situation. But no, I think that the predators out there and the solicitation that's happening from these older people on these kids is rampant. And I think, even getting into child pornography production and trading, that is rampant. And, you want to believe that we live in an awesome town, and we do, but unfortunately it happens everywhere across all the towns in the world. And it doesn't matter where you live, it's going to find you. So just the best thing that you can do is protect yourself, protect your children, and make sure that you're all educated and that you don't find yourself being a victim of it. So if you find yourself in a situation, say you check your kid's phone and you see something that's alarming and you need to report that to the police department, please do that. Wherever you live, if it's the city of Waxahachie, if it's Ellis County, if it's, find your local police department, and then you can contact dispatch and say, hey, I'm concerned that I found this on my phone and I feel like it needs to be investigated. Then they can make a report and it gets to the detective who handles that. Obviously in Waxahachie, it's going to be me. You can always reach out. I have an email. It's eglidewell@waxahachie.pd.org. Contact me directly. Contact my extension. I don't initiate the reports, but if you just have a question and you don't want to, make a full report yet, you can contact me at my extension, 469-309-4435. I'm here. So we're here to help. That's what we're here for. So I always tell people, if you've got a question, just holler at me, because this is what I do. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate, because it's just a phone call. It's just an email. It's not going to hurt anything. Information is right there. You just got to reach out and grab it.